Witajcie moi drodzy, z tej strony Kina. Witam was w grze The Country. Ostatnio spitoliliśmy wszystko perfekcyjnie jak się dało, więc trzymajcie kciuki, żeby dzisiaj było lepiej. Idziemy na kolację. U mnie 11:30, oni kolację jedzą. No, strefy czasowe, wiecie.
I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Let no one disturb me. I'm busy.
Too bad. I'll see him later.
Czego ja w tą skręcałem?
That's the door to Elizabeth's room.
For God's sakes, what happened in here?
Aha!
A chest with a half-circle pattern. Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals. Wow. See what it tastes like. Ugh.
Coś tak czuję, że potem może być ciekawie. Okej. Czy ja gdzieś... Mam nadzieję, że to sobie poszło takie. Piękne malowidło.
June 11th, 1791. My dear Elizabeth, the last letter gave me much cause for concern. Your words were so cold.
A czyli już wiem, że ma siostrę. Świetna wanna na książki.
A initiation of a young woman into polite society.
Spróbujemy skill pointa do tego. Dobra. Okej, mamy klucz.
1791. My dear sister, the cancellation of our reunion hit me like a stab to the heart. Father told me it was for your well-being, but... August 24th, 1792. Elizabeth, I am driven to despair and doubt there is any point in writing to you. I'm not even sure you'll receive my letters. Father controls my correspondence more and more. I am certain he filters our exchanges. Thank you.
No dobra, czyli ktoś chce przyjść do tatusia. Rozmawia sobie o Elizabeth. Nie, zostaw to. Ty już to zostaw. Nie będziemy próbować dalej, ale czekajcie, mamy kluczyk. Więc pewnie będziemy sobie mogli otworzyć szkatułeczkę. Powinno się to dać skipować naprawdę. No, może taki... To nie ten klucz? No to się... tak. Trtolcie się.
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news. We won't be able to meet as planned on the first Sunday of May. I've been told that you're no better, and, unfortunately, your brothers and I are...
Okej. Kontakty z rodzicami, widzę, że oni w rodzinie raczej ciężka sprawa. Zostały już te zanieczyszczone kryształki. Dobra, chyba na razie przejrzeliśmy tutaj wszystko. Możesz... No i... Dziękuję. Zanim sobie tutaj zejdę na dół, zobaczymy, czy... Tutaj nie... Tu jest zejście na górę. Ja dzisiaj naprawdę jestem po prostu u szczytu formy.
A few leaves out of an old encyclopedia.
Wygarniemy sobie rzeczy, skoro leżą. Dobra, chyba czas zejść na dół. I zobaczyć, co oni tam sobie dzisiaj pałaszują. Mam nadzieję, że nie oglądacie odcinka na głodniaka.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Home.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious. I'm not worried about Jacques Peru.
I'm sorry. I should have stopped him from beating you.
What's done is done. It was my fault, not yours.
Don't say that. It's never the
Trochę mnie
victim's
przeraża
fault.
ta laska.
Look at your eye.
My eye's nothing. Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
My mother came here to do business, but she seems to have gone missing. So I'm here to find her.
I know your mother very well.
If I understand rightly, you share a common past?
Are you saying I've made it all up? You can ask her when you see her.
Huh, she's getting more and more agitated.
Weź się, rozumiem. Ciężko tego nie zauważyć.
And next you're going to tell me my mother's also responsible for that scar on your head?
My heart stopped twice during the operation. I lost my memory for 6 months. You obviously have no idea of the abuse your mother inflicted on me.
Wait. There must be some kind of mistake.
My only mistake was ever meeting your mother.
She's able to describe every detail without hesitation or getting flustered. It's becoming difficult not to believe the poor girl.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
You're right. I don't want this conversation to turn into an interrogation. You've suffered enough already. I respect your silence. Please excuse me.
Well, thank you. I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Haven't you got a sister?
Yes.
I'm sure she loves you with all her heart.
Dobrze, że przejrzałam te notatki w pokoju, bo przypomina mi się sytuacja z Kate z Lisa.
Thanks for trusting me.
You see, before I was born, my mother often suffered from hallucinations and fits of anger. Soon people could barely recognize her. She became a completely different person. So my father spent an enormous amount of money paying for the best doctors, but none of them were able to cure her. The last resort was to call a priest.
So, is that what your father did?
No. He went to an expert in the occult.
Ah, my mother.
Her reputation already extended beyond our borders. My mother's fit stopped at my birth, and Sarah de Richet concluded that the evil had passed into me. Not only did it encourage her to stay, but she took the opportunity to advise my father to separate me from the rest of my family. That's how I was declared stillborn. My fate was decided that very day.
It would coincide with my mother's frequent trips to America.
I had my first fit when I was 3. That's when your mother began her experiments to rid me of the evil inside.
I understand how you feel, but I know my mother. I'm sure she had her reasons, even if it seems difficult to believe.
Everything she put me through was all for nothing. My whole life was ruined for nothing.
So what brings you here then?
My father used to know Sir Holm. He offered to introduce me to the world's leading authority in the occult.
Lord Mortimer.
He was my last hope. Until I found out he had also invited your mother.
It's got to be a coincidence. I don't believe for a second she's coming for you.
You can't change my mind about this, Louis. My days are numbered, and I know it.
Już bardziej wystraszona chodzić nie może.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Yes. What can I find on the second floor?
That floor is strictly reserved for Lord Mortimer, sir. In the west wing, on the second floor, are his private chambers. In the east wing are the rooms reserved for Lord Mortimer's personal guests. At the moment, these rooms are reserved for Sir Holm, sir. But only authorized guests may access that area.
Okay.
Does Sir have any more questions?
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island in its natural state, sir. For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If Sir would like to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor, I would advise Sir to pass through the portrait gallery. May I help Sir in any other way?
Dobra, na razie. Na razie dziękuję.
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Zgarnął książkę za pazuchę, no cóż, też można. Czy ja mam iść tutaj? Wziąłem. A ci stali czekali za drzwiami jak banda. Nie powiem co, ale no.
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us
Nie
begin.
zaprosił na dinner.
What is Mortimer playing it? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
Who does not know of her?
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the king's table.
Please, go ahead.
I am delighted.
What do you want to know?
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand.
Więc
I should
romansa.
feel better too, as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my
Czy możesz coś na
friend,
siebie
I am
narzucić?
shaking in my clogs.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much
Co
so.
ja miałam temu
Gregory.
zrobić?
Such
Ja
complexity.
chyba czegoś nie
Typically
ogarniam.
French. A souterrain, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord
Może to
Mortimer's
kwestia tego, że nie
favourite
mam
wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I've
skilla
taken the
do
liberty
gadania.
of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Przeraża mnie ten gościu, nie?
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
Okej.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mention that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Czegoś nie zrobisz sobie pomajtać
Is
przy tym.
everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment
Ale tak mi
of
się wydaje, te
here I am again.
misnięte opportunity są właśnie...
What do you think of Volner?
The Prussian king is his puppet.
I find it hard to believe the King of Prussia is so weak.
Be careful. Volner is as influential as he is dangerous.
You seem to know each other well.
We used to work together.
I see.
Who does not know of her, sir?
Ja widzę, że tam nieźle piją.
Napoleon?
He's certainly well connected in high places.
Surprising. No one appears to know him.
No one knows me, and yet here I am.
Quite so.
Monsieur de Richet, it would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private?
Ile on wypił podczas tego posiłku? Czy wy widzieliście te oczy? Nie to, żeby coś, ale...
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis.
I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for
Dawaj.
that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannons.
Absolutely. 50,000 louis d'or in hard cash.
The offer I'm talking about was for only 20,000 louis d'or, Monsieur de Richet. The truth is, you really have no idea about our agreement. So, you're wasting my time. I need to work with people I can have confidence in, sir.
The exact numbers may have escaped me. I suggest you wait for my mother's return in order to manage such details.
I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I. And I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
Let the people make their own choices.
You are joking, I hope. The people are simply not capable of taking charge, don't you see? They are an uneducated who react on the spur of the moment, incapable of providing a vision for the good of the country.
Powiem szczerze, nie mam żadnego pojęcia, jak powinnam poprowadzić tę rozmowę.
What do you mean?
I cannot believe that Lord Mortimer advised me to speak to you. I must have misunderstood. Excuse me, please.
Bravo, Louis. Total fiasco.
Nie da się ukryć. Że chciałam wam pokazać, że da się.
My friends, I would like to say a few words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is imminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington. Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
Zastanawiam mnie, co to za czerwony znacznik na górze. Właściwie myślałam o przeszukaniu pokoju Napoleona, ale jakoś tak nie wiem. Myślałam, że go minęłam. Nie, weź to. Mogę sobie dać punkt. Back i back. Jeszcze jednej rzeczy sobie nie rozdałam. Nie mam skill pointa na to, a myślałam, że mam, przepraszam.
Alright, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother's message. I've got to find the place where all eyes size you up.
Okay. Znaleźliśmy jakiś klucz, spoko. Myślę, że sobie jeszcze dzisiaj spróbujemy coś znaleźć. No już właśnie nie będzie jakiegoś swego rodzaju... O Jezus.
Actress, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. Pages out of an old encyclopedia.
No powiem wam, że niezłe, nie? Właśnie o czymś takim myślałam.
Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of.
And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should I go and try to find the creature now?
Pytanie, jak bardzo dosłowna będzie tutaj meduza. Czekaj, że muszę przyczepić jakąś kartkę.
Christ Crucified by Velasquez. Look, someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alquidia.
Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near. His brain is oozing by their ears.
The Fall of Phaeton, another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning by his father Apollo for borrowing his chariot and losing control of it. Moral, don't steal Dad's chariot. A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe V. I wonder why Mortimer's particularly fond of this painting.
Zastanawiam się, czy powiem, będzie to bardzo dosłownie meduza jako meduza, czy...
Golden Elixir, Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
What?
A painting with no name.
O! Dzień dobry, meduzo. Wygląda taką bardzo twarz dziecka. To przerażające.
I've got to find out what Mother was trying to do with her. The Medusa. A hero armed with a sword. A hero with a lantern. And the last one holding a shield.
Weź sobie
I'll
załóż
stake
te
my life on
natyłki.
it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast. Let's give them a helping hand.
Tu mamy meduzę.
Let's think. To vanquish the beast, the statues have to be lined up in a specific order. What can the shield be for? To protect its holder? Why not?
But in that case, what's the lantern for? Step back and take a second, Louis. Be logical, but open-minded. Think outside the box. Nobody said a statue has to have only one use. I wonder if the lantern was to distract the Medusa. This shield can both protect the holder and also reflect the light from the lantern to distract the beast. In other words, I'll have to make an angle of 90 degrees between the lantern and the Medusa by turning the shield to face the sword. If Mortimer's the one who thought of all this stuff, then honestly, he must have a screw loose. Crazy idea, but worth a shot.
Nawet nie chcę myśleć, w którym miejscu jemu się to zaświeciło. To miał być Czekajcie, bo ten miał odbijać do tego, do gościa od... Chyba to miał być w tą stronę. O ile dobrze kojarzę. Tym razem to nie... Czyżbym dobrze pamiętała co i jak? Dobra, słuchajcie, udało nam się... Udało nam się to rozwiązać.
Keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop fooling around and tell me what you're doing here.
I was feeling a bit peckish. I went in search of the kitchen and I ended up here.
Your sense of direction is mind-boggling, isn't it? Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around.
Look aroundujemy się w kolejnym odcinku. Ja zamknę tego czasu okno, bo mi przecież coś trafi. I cóż, misiaki, mam nadzieję, że odcinek się podobał. Dzisiaj nam udało nam się tyle nie spitolić. Cóż, to co, więc standardowo komentujcie, subskrybujcie, łapcie w górę, widzane, pozdrawiam was, trzymajcie się i cześć!